Have you ever wondered what the future holds? Over 2,500 years ago, Daniel, a young Hebrew, received visions that revealed the destiny of humanity. His prophecies, written amidst rising and falling empires, point to the beginning of the end. In this video, we will uncover these mysteries and connect them to our world today. Like and subscribe to be part of a community that explores these life-changing truths. Get ready for a journey that may change the way you see everything. The visions of Daniel, which we just mentioned, were born in a time of crisis. Around 587 BC, Jerusalem fell, and Daniel, a young Hebrew, was taken into exile in Babylon. There, in the midst of a hostile empire, he stood out for his unwavering faith and divine wisdom. By interpreting the dreams of kings, such as Nebuchadnezzar, Daniel revealed the future of nations. His prophecies, recorded in the Bible, predicted the rise and fall of empires with astonishing accuracy. Why do these visions, written over 2 millennia ago, still captivate us? Because they speak of our time. Join us as we explore these revelations and discover how they echo today, guiding us on a journey of faith and understanding. We've just met Daniel, a young man whose faith set him apart in a hostile world. Now, let's dive deeper into his story and understand why his prophecies still resonate today. In 587 BC, Jerusalem was destroyed by King Nebuchadnezzar, and thousands of Hebrews, including Daniel, were taken as prisoners to Babylon's Grand Empire, but one spiritually distant from the values of Israel. Daniel, still a teenager, faced a challenge: to live out his faith in an environment that demanded conformity. Imagine being in his place, far from home, surrounded by a culture that opposed everything you believed in. Yet, Daniel stood firm. He refused the king's defiled food, choosing instead to honor God even under pressure. His courage and wisdom caught attention. When Nebuchadnezzar had a troubling dream of a statue made of gold, silver, bronze, and iron, none of Babylon's wise men could interpret it. But Daniel, guided by God, revealed that the dream represented a succession of empires that would shape world history. That vision, recorded in Daniel chapter 2, was only the beginning. Daniel was not just an interpreter of dreams, he was a prophet. His visions, described in chapters 2, 7, 8, 9, and 12 of the Bible, go beyond his time. They speak of kingdoms that would rise and fall, of events that span centuries, and even of a time many believe is near: the end of times. What makes these prophecies so special? First, their historical accuracy. The empires Daniel described, Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece, and Rome, emerged exactly as foretold. Second, their spiritual relevance. They offer a map to understand God's plan, from the days of Daniel to the future we await. But why does this matter to us today? We live in a world of uncertainties, wars, crises, rapid changes. People search for answers, a meaning to what is coming. Daniel's prophecies invite us to look beyond the chaos, pointing to a greater purpose. They challenge us to ask, how can we live with courage, like Daniel, in difficult times? How can we find hope when the future seems uncertain? By studying his visions, we discover not only what is to come, but how to live with purpose now. Throughout this video, we will explore these prophecies in detail, starting with the visions that connect the past to the present. Get ready to understand how the words of a young exile in Babylon still echo, bringing clarity, hope, and a new perspective to our lives today. We've just seen how Daniel, with his unshakable faith, became a channel for divine revelations in Babylon. Now, let's dive into the prophecies that made him one of the greatest prophets in the Bible, connecting the past to our present. His visions, detailed in chapters like 2, 7, and 9, not only foretold the course of history, but also offer clues about what is to come. Let's explore 3 of them: Nebuchadnezzar's statue, the beasts of Daniel 7, and the prophecy of the 70 weeks. Around 603 BC, King Nebuchadnezzar had a dream that deeply troubled him. he saw a colossal statue with a head of gold, chest and arms of silver, belly and thighs of bronze, legs of iron, and feet made of iron mixed with clay. None of the Babylonian wise men could decipher the dream, but Daniel, guided by God, revealed its meaning. The statue represented a succession of empires that would shape history. The head of gold was Babylon itself, an empire of wealth and power under Nebuchadnezzar. The chest of silver symbolized the Medo-Persian Empire, which conquered Babylon in 539 BC under Cyrus the Great. The belly of bronze pointed to Greece, led by Alexander the Great, who dominated the known world in the 4th century BC. The legs of iron represented Rome, an empire of unmatched strength that rose later, and the feet of iron and clay. They suggest a divided, unstable kingdom, which many scholars associate with later times, perhaps even our own days. But the dream didn't end there. Daniel described a stone, not cut by human hands, that struck the statue and destroyed it, becoming a mountain that filled the whole earth. This stone, for many, symbolizes the kingdom of God, which will triumph over all human kingdoms. The accuracy of this vision is astonishing. The empires rose exactly as predicted, confirming the divine inspiration of Daniel's words. Today, as we look at a fragmented world with divided and unstable nations, many wonder, are we living in the days of the statue's feet? This prophecy challenges us to consider the future and the role of the divine in history. Years later, Daniel had his own vision, one even more vivid. He saw 4 beasts emerging from the sea, each different and terrifying. The first, a lion with eagle's wings, represented Babylon with its majesty and power. The second, a bear raised up on one side, symbolized the Medo-Persian Empire with its asymmetric strength. The third, a leopard with 4 wings and 4 heads, pointed to Greece swift in conquest and divided after Alexander's death. The fourth beast, different from all the others, with iron teeth and 10 horns, represented Roman Empire that crushed everything in its path. One detail stands out. A little horn emerged among the 10 horns, uprooting 3 of them. This horn had human eyes and spoke arrogantly. Many scholars see in this horn a future figure, possibly linked to the Antichrist or to a power that will challenge God in the last days. The vision culminates in divine judgment, where the Ancient of Days establishes an eternal kingdom. This prophecy reinforces the message of the statue. Human kingdoms are temporary, but God's kingdom is eternal. For us today, it prompts reflection. What powers are rising in today's world? How do they align with Daniel's visions? In chapter 9, Daniel receives one of the most complex and impactful prophecies. While praying for the restoration of Jerusalem, the angel Gabriel revealed the prophecy of the 70 weeks, a divine timeline for crucial events. Each week represents 7 years, totaling 490 years. The prophecy points to the coming of the Messiah, the rebuilding of Jerusalem, and final events. Many scholars believe the first 69 weeks culminated in the arrival of Jesus, with his death and resurrection marking a central point in history. The final week, or 7 years, is a subject of debate. Some see it as a future period connected to the end times, involving events such as the rise of a deceptive leader and global tribulations. This prophecy is an invitation to hope. It shows that God has a plan, even in the midst of chaos. For today's audience, living in a world of uncertainties, it offers an anchor. History is under divine control. The 70 weeks challenge us to reflect on our place in God's plan and to seek a life aligned with His purposes. As we move forward, we will see how these visions point to the future and what they mean for us. Daniel's visions, like the statue, the beasts, and the 70 weeks, have taken us from the past to the present, showing a divine plan that spans centuries. Now, let's look to the future. What do Daniel's prophecies say about what is yet to come? How do they help us live with purpose in such an uncertain world? In chapter 12 of his book, Daniel receives a vision that points directly to what many call the beginning of the end. Let's explore this message, its spiritual relevance, and how it can transform our lives today. In chapter 12, Daniel describes a time of distress like never before. He speaks of a period of tribulation, followed by the resurrection of the righteous and God's final victory. The angel revealing this vision instructs Daniel to seal the book until the time of the end, when knowledge will increase and many will search for answers. This description resonates with our time. We live in an age of unprecedented technological advancement, but also of global instability, wars, climate crises, social polarization. Many scholars see in these events echoes of the signs described by Daniel. For example, the mention of the increase in knowledge may connect to the explosion of information in the digital age. But at the same time, this knowledge often brings confusion, not clarity. Daniel's prophecies invite us to look beyond the chaos, to a future where God establishes His eternal kingdom. The vision in Daniel 12 promises that those who persevere, as Daniel did in Babylon, will find redemption. This message is powerful. Even in difficult times, there is hope. The future, no matter how uncertain it may seem, is in the hands of a God who has already revealed His plan. This connection to the present challenges us. When we look at the world today, we may ask ourselves, are we living in the days Daniel foresaw? Though no one can say for sure, the prophecies encourage us to be alert, to watch for the signs, and to seek divine wisdom. They remind us that history is not a random cycle, but a purposeful narrative guided by God. Daniel's prophecies are not just predictions of the future. They are a call to faith and courage. Daniel lived in a hostile world, surrounded by pressure to abandon his beliefs. Yet he chose to trust in God, even when facing the lion's den or interpreting dreams that could cost him his life. His story is a model for us. In a world that often challenges our values, how can we live with the same boldness? The answer lies in the faith Daniel demonstrated. He prayed 3 times a day, even when it was forbidden. He sought God in times of crisis, trusting that answers would come. That trust sustained him, and the prophecies he received reinforce a central truth: God is in control. For us, this means that regardless of circumstances, we can find peace in knowing that the future is in God's hands. Daniel's visions also inspire us to look inward. They challenge us to ask, are we living in a way that reflects our faith? Are we prepared for the challenges that may come? Daniel's message is clear. Hope is not found in the things of this world, but in an eternal kingdom that is to come. This perspective changes everything, giving us strength to face difficulties with courage and purpose. So how do we apply Daniel's prophecies to our lives today? First, they invite us to reflect. Just as Daniel sought God in prayer, we can take time to study the Bible and understand its truths. The book of Daniel, with its complex visions, may seem intimidating, but it is accessible through study and guidance. Bible study groups, online resources, or even careful personal reading can open up new perspectives. Second, the prophecies challenge us to live with purpose. Daniel didn't just receive visions, he lived out his faith, impacting kings and nations. We can do the same in our spheres of influence, in our families, workplaces, and communities. Small acts of courage, like standing up for what is right or sharing hope, reflect the spirit of Daniel. Finally, the prophecies offer us practical hope. In a world of uncertainties, knowing that God has a plan gives us stability. Ask yourself, what do these visions mean to me? How can I prepare to live faithfully like Daniel in challenging times? As we move into the next segment, we will summarize what we've learned and see how these truths can guide us today. We've just reflected on how Daniel's prophecies challenge us to live with faith, courage, and purpose. What ties these prophecies together is a powerful truth. History is not an accident. Every event from the past to the future is part of a divine purpose that Daniel helps us see. These visions, given to a young exile over 2,500 years ago, still speak to us today. Nebuchadnezzar's statue showed that human kingdoms, no matter how grand, are temporary. The beasts of Daniel 7 revealed that earthly power, even the most intimidating, will be judged by God. And the 70 weeks remind us that the Messiah came and the future is under divine control. Daniel 12, with its promise of redemption, gives us hope to face today's challenges. But what do we do with this? Daniel's prophecies aren't just meant to be studied, they are a call to action. First, they invite us to seek God, just as Daniel did. He prayed with faith, even under threat. We can do the same by setting aside time to study the Bible and grow in our spiritual understanding. Resources like online Bible studies, discussion groups, or simply a thoughtful reading of the book of Daniel can open new doors on this journey. Second, Daniel challenges us to live with courage. He faced kings and lions with confidence in God. Today, in a world full of pressure, we can reflect. How can I live my faith boldly? Small steps like sharing hope or standing for truth echo Daniel's example. Finally, these prophecies offer us an anchor. In times of uncertainty, knowing that God has a plan brings us peace. So, what do these visions mean to you? They are an invitation to look beyond the chaos of the world to find purpose and hope. Don't let this journey end here. Pick up your Bible, join a study group, or explore more about Daniel's prophecies. Like Daniel, live with purpose, knowing that the future is in the hands of a faithful God. In the next few minutes, we'll share an inspiring story and resources to help you continue this discovery. We've just reflected on how Daniel's prophecies challenge us to live with faith, courage, and purpose. Before we wrap up, we want to share a story that shows the impact of these truths. I met Anna, a young woman who, in the midst of uncertainty about the future, found a source of hope in the book of Daniel. She shared that as she studied the visions, she realized that the chaos of the world isn't the end of the story. Like Daniel, Anna decided to pray more and seek answers in the Bible. Her life changed, she found peace and a sense of direction, even in uncertain times. Stories like hers remind us that Daniel's prophecies are not just about the future, they transform the present. The future may be uncertain, but God's promises are eternal. Now, we want to help you take the next step. If Daniel's visions have sparked your curiosity, explore the book for yourself. Start with Chapter 2 or join a local Bible study group. Online resources such as studies on Daniel from trusted platforms can guide you on this journey. You can also find books and study guides that explain the prophecies in simple language, perfect for beginners or experienced learners. We want to thank you, our viewer, for joining us on this journey. Your pursuit of understanding inspires us to create more content like this. A special thank you to our production team who worked tirelessly to bring these truths to life. This video is for you who desire to understand God's plan and find hope in His promises. Before we go, we have one last invitation. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell and share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. By doing so, you join a community seeking to grow in faith and understand the purpose behind the future. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and may the lessons from Daniel inspire you to live with courage and hope. See you next time.